sasa tuko na watoto wamewekelewa mara moja tu, hawacheki. They doesn't love. They are animals, wild beasts and elephants.
Thank you. Okay, the second question I'm going to ask to Michelle Mackenzie from King County. My question to you is, what measures should be put in place to ensure all children feel safe when in school?
Hoja ya kwanza, usawa wa huduma kwa kila mwanafunzi. Ya pili, sisi walemavu tupewe mahitaji yetu sawa na ulemavu. Ya tatu, shule zijengwe, shule ziwe na mazingira ya kirafiki kwa sisi walemavu. Ya nne, shule ziwe na walimu wa kutosha waliopata mafunzo maalum.
Okay.
Namsaidia, anasema walemavu wapewe mahitaji yao katika kila nyanja, kama vile yeye alivyofanyiwa na county government ya Kilifi, akasaidiwa kisport mpaka akaweza kuenda Chicago kule wa Marekani na akapata tuzo. Alipofika hapa akapata tuzo tena. Kwa hivyo wanashukuru sana county government ya Kilifi kwa kusaidia sana walemavu.
Thank you. Now I want to ask Jacqueline Wanjiro. Is she here? Yes. So I want to ask you, do all children have access to technical and vocational centers?
Yes. To access every basic vocational training, and sometimes they lack equipment for training and complete courses, and it makes it impossible to make up for use of skills learned. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now I will hand over the questions to Dr. Teresa.
Thank you, Shana, for being a nice moderator. Give Shana a clap. She's a marvelous moderator. Okay, I'm going to ask the adults some questions. Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. The first question I'm going to ask is about curriculum. And the question is, Kenya has launched a new curriculum by the name competency-based curriculum. What are the key benefits of this new curriculum to children?
Thank you very much for that question and even for the opportunity to actually talk about the competency-based curriculum. Indeed, Kenya has the national rollout of the curriculum, which took place in January this year, last month, and it has several benefits. One of the benefits is that it will use learner-centered approaches. So the teaching and learning of the competency-based curriculum will be based on the activities that children like to do. Even as you play, even as you dance, as you are dancing here, you can learn something. So why not use these approaches for children to learn? The other thing about the curriculum is that it is futuristic. It looks at the future. in which it tries to produce a 21st century child. We don't know what that 21st century child will look like. We don't know what the country will look like in the 21st century. But we can create learners who are adaptive to change, to just adapt to whatever situation arises. We want to produce learners who are critical thinkers so that they're able to think as the world is changing, is this the direction I want to take, or who do I want to be? It's also about applying what you have learned. A lot of things we learn in the classroom, we ask ourselves, where do I use that in society? So this curriculum gives an opportunity for every child to practice what they learn in the classroom within their community. And that is why it has a community service approach. It will also reduce competition between learners, but as a child, you will not be judged against another child. So it doesn't matter whether you are number one. You can have even 20 people becoming number one in class, as long as they achieve what it is that you're expected to achieve. So it's not about competition, it's about your ability to learn and how well you are able to acquire the competencies or the skills that we are talking about. So it will reduce competition. It also gives opportunity for formative learning or formative assessment, where you are judged as you go along, and it's not all about summative, although summative evaluation will be there, but even as you continue learning, you shall be graded, and even that grade will be part of your final grade once you finish school. So formative learning becomes extremely important. The other thing we want to make sure, and she alluded to it, the learners with special needs, is that no child shall be left behind. Every child, and that is why our mission is to nurture every learner's potential, because we know every child has a potential. So we want to know what is that potential, and then we nurture it so that every child becomes empowered, engaged, and ethical, and they'll be able to do something in their life. So those are some of the benefits. If I'm given the mic for too long, I might talk for another hour about it. So let me stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, for enlightening us on the importance of the competence-based curriculum, which is going to ensure that every child, your strengths, if you are a good musician like those who are dancing here, you are not going to be left. You will excel in that. If you are a good artist, you will do that. And in other words, we are not going to measure you cognitively, what you are able to do, but what you are able to do in terms of talent and gifts. Yeah. Now, the other question, it's about vocational. And I'm directing it to Mr. Silas Wanyonyi, Director of Vocational Education, Bungoma County. The question is, what is the value of vocational education and training to children? Can children who have passed their secondary education join vocational education centers?
Thank you for that question. Vocational training is part of our life, and first of all, I'll start by saying all of us have had a vocation in one way or another. Even when you were children, of course, like when I was a child, your age, in our rural village in Mount Elgon, we do some molding, clay molding, gari, baby, unabeba. That's a vocation. You are trying to build a skill of developing something. So vocational training is a vocation in our lives. What is the importance of vocational training in children? As you grow up, you need something for yourself. You need something you can identify yourself with, a skill that develops with you. It goes with your interest, so that if you are good, it doesn't matter whether you've gone ahead and become a doctor, you've become a teacher, you've become something else, you've become a mother. You know, what you require is a skill that will identify with you. You need to know how to make a dress. Many of us, those are things which we do in our lives, correct? Yeah, you need to know how to repair a vehicle. You need to know how to service a vehicle. You need to know how to make a chair. You know, those are skills we require. Those are basic skills we require in our lives. As you move up the ladder, these skills become part of our economic interest. That is, you can easily do it for money. You can easily do it for social development. So that at one point or another, somebody requires a dress, somebody wants a house to build, it will come to you. Those are skills which are easily consumables. Those are the basic skills. As for those people who have finished Form 4, as I said, even me today, if I wanted to know how to make a dress, I'll join a vocational training center and be able to learn how to make a dress. In Bungoma, I've seen quite a number of old wazes, 70 years, 60 years, moving in to learn how to make a chair, carpentry. Those are the competences one wants, and it's in line with the new curriculum. In Kenya today, we are also coming up with another curriculum called CBET. These are competence-based training, for which you just move in, learn a skill you want to learn, move out and be able to apply the same skill, come back to school, get an additional skill as you move all the way. And I believe KICD, working with SIDA, Cairo, and Tiveta, you are going to come up with a pathway to link ourselves up to university level. So vocational skills are part of our lives. That's the only thing I can tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Julius, for that. You wanted to say something?
Yes, I am going to do the next question, and it's for Miss Regina Wasambo. Yes. My question for you is, in the near future, how should early childhood education program look like?
Thank you very much for this question. In the near future, and I think the future is here already. Why am I saying that? Right now, early childhood development is gaining a lot of recognition internationally, regionally, and locally. And it is an exciting moment because many things are happening, and we are going to see more people, children thriving in the near future. Over and above that, I'm happy to inform all of you, just in case you don't know, that ECD is a devolved function to the county governments. And that has brought along blessings, many of them. One, right now, previously, very little funding was being given to early childhood education. If you go all over the country right now, you will see a lot of nice structures coming up that are early childhood education classes. That is good for our children because most of them used to learn under trees. Another thing that is looking very bright is the counties are hiring teachers, and therefore the ECD teachers who are being hired are competent, as in they have been trained on child matters. They are knowledgeable on that, and even as they are transmitting information and knowledge to the young ones, then they have the knowledge that they desire for that. And with that, you realize then so many of them can be retained in the schools. One thing that we also are encouraging is learning through play. Like what my colleague said earlier on, the competence-based curriculum has brought along very good things. Children don't have to learn using the blackboard and the chalk. No, many ways are being used to make children learn. And it's making learning and fun activities, and children are feeling like it's part of what we really want to be. The learning process is learner-centered or child-centered, where it is the child who guides the process of teaching and learning. Who loves exams here? Can I see by show of hands? You love exams? Oh, that's good. Can I give you good news? Children in ECD centers are not going to do exams. Yes, they're not going to do exams. They're going to be assessed just like the competence-based. They're going to be assessed using the Kenya School Readiness Assessment Tool. So they are not going to be given papers and pens and being told, oh, these are the questions that you need to answer. No. They're just going to be told, can you do this? If they're able to do, then they're given a score. Can you do that? If they're able to do, then they're given a score. For me, I think it's exciting. I fear exams. Even as an adult, I fear exams. They are not interesting. So when I hear children who are young are not going to be subjected to exams, it's a good thing. Another thing that's happening in terms of early learning is we are not starting early learning when we go to schools. These children are already learning at home, at daycare centers, because even caregivers or the parents at home are being taught on how to engage with their children through play and communication so that they can start learning right from home. By the time they are being handed over to the formal learning, then they are very good people because they've already been learning back at home before the age of 4 years. Last but not least, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development recently launched the Caregivers Guide. And these are some of the things that we want to use because we are recognizing or we are taking note of the fact that learning starts from home. The first parent, the first teacher for that child is the parent. So the moment these parents and caregivers are taught something on early childhood development, then they'll start preparing the children early enough. So with that, the future is very bright.
Okay, thank you so much, Regina, for enlightening us about early childhood education. Now, I want to say something about early childhood development. When we think about learning, learning does not start when we enter into preschool. Learning starts right from home. If your parent is able to provide your younger sister or your younger brother who is below 3 years with stimulating play materials, the child will learn now how to play. As that child plays, his finger muscles are developed. He's able to make movements which are very critical for him when he goes to school. Akifika shule kama alikuwa amecheza sana akiwa nyumbani, atajua kucheza na watoto wengine, atajua kufanya turn taking. Ukimwomba mpira atakupea ucheze, alafu na yeye acheze. That is turn taking. So early childhood starts, early learning starts right from the time the children are very young. And another thing is about daycare centers where babies are taken if mummies are going to work and they don't have a house girl. So such centers are also the responsibility of your county government to ensure that those centers are good and stimulating to children. Shama had indicated she wants to talk, and I want to give her this opportunity.
Yes. So, about technology, Dr. Regina, Ms. Regina, she was talking about technology. So, I was thinking, my sister said she uses less technology than me. We went to the ophthalmologist, also known as optician, and we checked her eyes. She had a problem because of the technology. So, I was saying, now who's the one that uses more technology now? Okay. Okay, yeah. So, children don't use too much technology because it can also spoil your eyes, and don't use technology in the dark. So now I want to invite back Kevin Osido. Yes.
Thank you for baptizing me, Calvin Osido. We had agreed with Shana that before she asks me to come back, we would have random questions from the audience. Anyone who has a question, especially with regards to what we've been talking about, which is early childhood development education. So the lead moderator, Shana, please kindly preside over this session. And then when you're done with 4 questions, you can then ask me to come back. That's fine?
Yes.
Si Shana amefanya kazi mzuri? Situmpigie makofi hata tafadhalini. So you have about 10 minutes to interact with the audience and the panelists, and then I'll be back. Thank you.
Who would like to? Okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm here. Hi,
Okay, yeah.
I'm over here.
Who would like?
Hi. My name is Lennon from Devolution. I am in class 6 and I have a question. How do you plan for about muna to plan near other good industries?
How do you prepare children to? On industries, is that right? Okay, Shannon, you got it?
Yes.
Very good.
So, secondly,
Which one of
hi,
the panelists?
my name is Liban Hussein from Marsabit County.
Okay. Okay, who's talking? Oh, yes. You can answer.
Hi. Okay. Okay, I'm Barbara Chepchumba from St. Bridget's Girls High School. Okay, so saying I'm representing Trans Nzoia County. So I have one question. It mainly concerns my county. I've noticed, apart from the good infrastructure that the country has brought to our county concerning ECD classes, we are having a problem with the teachers. The ECD teachers are not sure if they're being paid by the county government or the central government. And also, concerning the vocational training, I've noticed most people from Mount Elgon region, that's to Mr. I didn't get his name. Mr. Julius. Mr. Cyrus, that's to you. I've noticed like most people from Mount Elgon region are not working, mostly the youth. They opt to drink. So what are you doing about it since you also come from there?
Okay, so yes, the